A new study called the Out of School Study shows that more than 7,000 children are not in school across the pre-primary, primary, and lower secondary levels in Belize. And most of these children are from underprivileged homes in rural areas.
The number of 4-year-olds who are not in school, we have almost 1,500 students. And in the primary level, we have over 2,000 students that we have to look at, and it goes up at the lower secondary level. We have almost 4,000 students.
Looking at these numbers, how much of a concern is it to the ministry that so many of our children are not in school?
Well, I think even one child out of school is an issue because we know that we have to grow our country, and not only that, but for their own personal development.
What does it mean for the ministry to have this kind of data?
Oh, it's excellent because we need to be making database decisions. We have to be on the ground knowing what exactly we're doing. Our resources are always limited, so when we have data to back up what we're doing, that makes it a lot better.
The study is critical to the work of the Ministry of Education to find out what is keeping our children out of school and what can be done about it. It is a big task for the ministry and its partners, but recommendations show that funding, training, and policy changes may help to address these findings.
Some of the recommendations included perhaps increasing the compulsory school age, and we could look at 4-year-olds at the lower end, and we could look at perhaps going up to age 16. Right now it's age 14. So that's one of the major recommendations. There were a lot of recommendations as well in terms of policies, for example, disciplinary policies which may lead students to stay out of school. And of course, there's also the resourcing in terms of staffing, having more special needs teachers, having more teachers at the early childhood level, or better trained teachers.
The Out of School Children Initiative is a global study launched by UNICEF and UNESCO in 2010. Belize's Out of School study was carried out between 2016 and 2017. Now, UNICEF is supporting the ministry to address the barriers to education that are highlighted in the study.
A part of our role is advocacy. Advocacy for access to quality education and access for inclusive education. And so with the evidence and with the data, such as this out-of-school study, UNICEF is able to support the national plans and programs where the needs arise, where the needs are targeted. We have supported the government of Belize in strengthening quality schools. And as I mentioned before, that looks at access to education, access to inclusive education, and this study has helped to highlight some of the gaps in targeted areas. So what we strive to do, and this afternoon actually, would look at some of the key priorities and recommendations so as to chart a way forward. We are interested, in example, in the development of a new education sector strategy. And definitely we believe that some of the policy recommendations coming out of this study may help to chart that way forward.
The study also shows that over 15,000 students are at risk of dropping out of primary school, while over 12,300 are at risk of dropping out of secondary school. Reporting for News 5, I'm Andrea Polanco.